Hello everyone, my name is Daniel from A to Z Thrills, and these are my top 15 roller coasters I have ever ridden. Number 15, Nighthawk from Carowinds. Even though I know a lot of people hate on this ride, I still love it mostly for the experience I had whenever I rode it with my father back when it was called Borga Simulator. But still for the oddity, as it's one of only two Vekoma Flying Dutchman models still in operation, the other being Batwing. I know it can give some major headbanging moments and the dispatch time really doesn't help, but for what it's worth, I don't think I can get the same experience from any of the other flying coasters I have ridden. Number 14, Silver Bullet from Knott's Berry Farm. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of B&M inverts, so I had hesitations about this ride, but after I got off, I immediately wanted to go again. Even though Carowinds, my old home park, has what is regarded as one of the best B&M inverts, aka Afterburn, I have to give it to this ride. The glass smoothness of my ride experience and how I went through the inversion so effortlessly made this ride quickly become a favorite. And once I'm back out, I cannot wait to ride this once again. Number 13, Space Mountain at Walt Disney World in Florida. Okay, put down your pitchforks and let me explain. I've ridden both the Florida and California ride, but for some reason, every single time I get off the California ride, I am extremely dizzy, even if I have Dramamine in my system. Whereas in Florida, somehow made me feel like I was going faster and a little bit smoother. Even though I've only had 2 rides in Florida compared to my 4 rides in California, I just had to give it to Florida. To me, it just is overall better. So I guess that leads us to our first question of the day. If you've ridden both Space Mountain in Florida and California, which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. Number 12, Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. I will say I rode Goliath for the first time back early this year, and it was just unimpressive. I don't know if it was too cold or what was going on, it just left me wanting more. But I was able to re-ride it back at Fright Fest, and I have to say that ride experience left me speechless. The airtime moments I had on those bunny hills and the forces I felt on that helix left me speechless, and I have to say it jumped up my list 10 times. Originally I had it, near probably my 20s, maybe 30s, but after Fright Fest it came up to my top 15. Number 11. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. That's a mouthful. This to me was amazing, from the theming to the glass smooth ride and the storytelling. I was able to add this to my list around June of this year and instantly became a top favorite of the park. I love the launches to the drop track and the constant magical creatures you see. The only thing that would make this ride better is the seats, because the motorbike seat hurts me like crazy because of my wide hips, and the sidecar isn't much better. Just fix the seats and it would be overall better. Number 10, Rip Ride Rockit. This ride is a classic. My first time riding this coaster was also in June of this year, and I instantly loved it. The main thing I love about this is that you can pick the soundtrack that you listen to. I know a lot of rides have music that plays that everyone can hear, but being able to ride this ride while listening to Gloria Gaynor sing I Will Survive just makes it better. The only thing I didn't like was a little bit of jackhammering I got after the second brake run. One thing I would love to see is some new music getting added, as I think there's only about 20-ish songs, but I think there could be more. Number 9, Rock'n Roller Coaster. This was one of my first rides when I visited Disney World this year, and I gotta say, Disney gets theming done right. From the stage, to the queue, and the pre-show. Everything just immerses you in the storyline. Just like the last entry, this ride comes with its very own soundtrack. Sadly, you can't choose your song, but it does randomly select one like Walk This Way, Dude Looks Like a Lady, or Sweet Emotion. The only thing I don't like about this ride is the bulky overhead seat restraint, which does give a little bit of head banging. Another thing is, if you have a big chest like I do, the seat restraint will only come down a little bit. And even though you're still safe to ride, it feels like you can slip out at any moment. If they would fix those to some other kind of restraint, I think it would be a lot better. Number 8, Incredicoaster. This Intamin launch coaster is the 6th largest sit-down coaster as of writing the script, and its height of 122 feet makes it the tallest roller coaster in any Disney resort. The things I love about this ride is the launch element that you get with Dash counting down, and the theming in each tube makes you really feel like you're traveling along with the Incredibles to rescue Jack Jack. But even this has some downfalls, such as the last entry, these bulky overhead seat restraints, which does cause some minor jackhammering through the entire ride. Some trains are less noticeable. Again, fix the restraint, even better ride. Number 7. X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I've only had one ride on this coaster made by Aerodynamics, and I have to say, when I first saw it, I was scared. It takes a lot for me not to want to ride a coaster, but seeing how much it flips you over and over and over again, as I said before, I'm not a big fan of inversions. So I was tempted not to even go on this ride, but I overcame my fear and I got on. We got front row seats, and after the 175-foot climb, you drop with the seats facing you directly down an incredible 215-foot drop, taking you through so many different elements. To me, surprisingly, this was glass smooth until the last fly to light element where there was some slight headbanging. But other than that, this ride was amazing, and next time I go out, I cannot wait to ride this one again. Number 6, Wonder Woman Flight of Courage, also at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This ride is fast. Even though the ride says its top speed is 58, I felt like I was going 70. The inversions as well were so smooth. Now, whether it's because of the new ride less than a year old or not, I loved every second of it. I got so much airtime, and the laterals we got just blew my socks off. As soon as we got done, we literally hopped in line for a second ride. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. This Vekoma Ellison reverse launch coaster is the first of its kind to debut in Epcot. This ride has it all, from theming to only lap bar restraints and the music. Just like the music for Rock and Roller Coaster, it's all random, but you can get songs like Conga to Everybody Wants to Rule the World, or to the rarest songs, I Ran. Also, the cars on the train move through the ride, which really isn't anything relatively new. Green Gust at Universal. But all of these contribute to having an amazing ride, which definitely earns its top 5 spot. Number 4, Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags Over Georgia. Now I will say, this was my first ever RMC, which already kind of puts it up here for nostalgic purposes. This ride, though small, packs a huge punch, from airtime to laterals to overall enjoyment. My last ride, I did get stapled, but even when I was stapled, I was able to feel those forces nonetheless. The reason I have it at number 4 over Wonder Woman California is mainly for being the first ever RMC I ever rode, even though I like Wonder Woman seats a lot better. Before we get into the top 3, if you're still here, thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. So if you can, go ahead into the comments and tell me what your top 3 favorite roller coasters are and why. Also, while you're down there, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the little subscribe button. It's free. Alright, number 3, Hang Time at Knott's Berry Farm. First, the colors are amazing. That blue/tealish color and the trains to me are so beautiful, and the lighting package at night looks amazing. Even though I haven't been able to have a night ride on it, it still adds to the awesomeness of this ride. Second, the ride restraints. After a extendable belt, it's my favorite clamshell lap bar seating, keeping you snug while letting you feel all those amazing airtime moments. And third, the ride itself. Going upright 90 degrees vertical, dropping out of a 150 foot to a beyond vertical drop, the steepest in all of California, to a couple different elements, but my favorite having to be the 0G style and the Cobra roll, going in through some glass smooth before another small bunny hill before the final brake run. This was my 50th coaster, and I'm so happy I got to experience, and that is why it lands at my top 3. Number 2, Fury 325. This B&M Giga is the tallest, fastest Giga coaster in the world, standing at a staggering 325 feet with an impressive 95 miles an hour. Also, this coaster is one of 2 that still uses the standard chain lift to get to the top, the other being Steel Dragon 2000. Even though this coaster opened in 2015, I wasn't able to get my ride until October of last year. And my goodness, when I say it goes fast, I mean it keeps its speed and rushes through the layout. Now, to me, it doesn't have that many noticeable elements other than the treble clef into the amazing head chopper moment that goes underneath the entrance walkway. After that, the ride goes through an airtime filled hill into a helix with another head chopper moment, into 2 more bunny hills before it finally hits the brakes. I could and possibly will make a video going more into depth about how this is an amazing roller coaster. But until then, good job, Fury. But what can beat it? Wow. Number 1, Velocicoaster. This ride was absolutely insane. First off, the theming with the indoor queue is genius. I mean, again, Florida heat is a no-no for me. But going from that to the 2-way mirrors that show the coaster going through after being chased by velociraptors, to the animatronics, it's just beautiful all around. Also, they take no phones so serious, which I love, because I do believe you shouldn't be taking phones out on a roller coaster. If you want to know more about this, go watch a video by Theme Park Predictions and more to understand why we feel the way we do. Also, they have free lockers for you to put your stuff in, so you don't have to worry about leaving it with some other non-rider. This ride is just phenomenal. All of those elements, plus really comfy over-the-head lap bar restraints, make this ride the very best, in my honest opinion. If you haven't been able to ride this ride, definitely give it a visit next time you're in Universal Orlando. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'm Daniel with A to Z Thrills. Keep calm and coaster on.